Welcome to the Falling Tower, Episode 2, Politically Incorrect and Woke AF. So let's get right into it. The first thing is surgeon decapitated friend. Friend? Because he thought he was a supernatural being. This relates so well to the stuff that I was doing in the last Tower episode, where I was talking about how third world doctors are responsible for like 80% of the malpractice cases in the UK. And as more third worlders are coming into America, we're taking their best and brightest, supposedly. Even when we take the cream of the crop from the third world, they still do disgusting things at a ridiculously high rate compared to the general population of whites. And it's because there are significant differences in behavior between whites and non-whites, and the West is just in denial of this. But the people that are pushing this on the West are very well aware of it and are using these bioweapons against us. Someone called BSAA. We need to get rid of these bioweapons. These illegal bioweapons that keep pouring into the country. How do they just keep springing up everywhere? Okay, that's just being silly. This is from metro.co.uk. A surgeon decapitated a friend because he thought he was a supernatural being. A trained surgeon who beheaded his friend in a betting shop, I don't know what that is, has been cleared of murder on the grounds of insanity. Cleared of murder. A guy who's supposed to be a surgeon murdered someone, chopped his fucking head off. But they said, okay, it's fine, he's just crazy. Paranoid schizophrenic Hassan Hassan Mufasa, 35, used a knife to decapitate Khalid Youssef at Paddy Power in Handsworth, Birmingham. There's a few times that I've seen, like, there's a knife attack in somewhere in England, and they say it's a knife. It's a fucking machete. A lot of the times it's just fucking Africans chopping people's limbs off, or like murdering motherfuckers, or Middle Easterners, men of Asian descent, using fucking machetes and cleavers and just butchering people because these are fucking animals and they're superstitious. They cannot be civilized. To think that you can civilize these fucking wild animals is just insane. You're not thinking rationally, but then again, most people don't think rationally. People think emotionally, so my poor feels, we gotta let them in, and no, it's just gonna destroy our countries, and it is destroying our countries. So this guy is supposed to be a fucking surgeon. Surgically removed this guy's head from his shoulders. Also, if this guy's crazy, wouldn't there be some signs ahead of time that maybe this motherfucker isn't stable? I mean, insanity, like, contrary to what you might see in Hollywood, oy vey, insanity doesn't pop out of nowhere. Your friends, your family will recognize something amiss, and those friends and family have to be complicit in not saying anything in order to allow something egregious like decapitation to happen. And we see this kind of blame game go on in America when there's someone who commits a violent crime and, oh, he was crazy, but the people around him are the ones that are really responsible for it because they didn't notice the warning signs. Well, we need to notice the warning signs that it's a bunch of fucking people that keep committing these crimes in formerly Western countries. Everything's any large city has degenerated into that. However, people are afraid to point out when something is amiss with a third worlder because they're afraid of being called racist. So people are deliberately told to ignore the warning signs that brown people are dangerous because otherwise you'll be called racist. And you don't want to be a racist, do you? It's fucking emotional manipulation. So Mufasa here, who sought political asylum in the UK in 2013, was originally charged with murder, but jurors were invited to return a special verdict of not guilty of murder by reason of insanity if they believed Mufasa didn't know what he was doing was wrong. To clarify, the jury decided this guy didn't know that murdering someone was a bad thing. Hey, so maybe there is an argument to be had out there that some people do need the very obvious things said in the 10 Commandments just drilled into their head. Hey, stealing from people, don't do that. Fucking another guy's wife? Yeah, you don't do that either. Yeah, don't murder people. Yeah, that's not a good thing for the health of your society. Then again, I don't think that these are capable of having any real sense of spirituality. I mean, trying to have any discussion about having any sense of spiritual awakening is just a moot point. The court told Mufasa of whatever the fuck place he believed he was killing a supernatural being rather than a human being as a part of a competition. I mean, this is petty. He's just making up an excuse. He's just pulling bullshit out of thin air. And when kill whites, they don't see us as the same thing. I believe it's more of a tribalistic thing, but that could be sublimated in woo-woo ooga-booga to mean that, oh, this guy from tribe over there, he not like us, so he need to die because he demon. Over there, that's the white demon. That's the white devil. White devil must die. But do you really think that have any understanding of the supernatural, of any understanding of like a grand order? I mean, there's petty mysticism, there's petty superstition, I should say, of I don't understand how this works, so it must be ghosts. But I would actually be interested to hear Styx Hexenhammer's perspective on this, because he doesn't really touch on the race issue so much, but he's very much into the occult. Are capable of understanding fucking anything in the occult? Well, I'm answering my own damn question. Aren't capable of understanding anything to any significant degree of depth. Individual exceptions, sure, but general rule still stands. But we should recognize that there is a tribalistic distinction where people remove themselves from the other, and when you get really simple-minded people, when you get simple-minded savages, they don't see everyone as part of one united humanity. No, that's a white person thing. Only white people do that. That's the white devil over there. I need to chop him up with the machete. And I also wanted to comment that around the Horn of Africa, there's a high rate of albinism. So it's like black Africans have an abnormally high rate of albinism there. I think it's the highest genetically in the world for whatever freaking reason. Maybe it's because they have simpler genetic structures. I don't know. But so there's lots of albinos in this one region of Africa, and they are systematically hunted down because they're thought to be supernatural beings, and they're like chopped up and used for voodoo rituals. It's really fucked up. And actually, like, I was made aware of this issue back when I was still blue-pilled, and it was like such a travesty that these albinos are being systematically hunted down and chopped up over in Africa. But when we bring over into Europe and over into America, and they start murdering people off of superstitious bullshit, then we just stay quiet because we're not allowed to take our own side. That's a huge fucking problem, is white people are not allowed to take their own side in order to exist. It's offensive for white people to even exist. That is the current state of PC culture, and that is a fucking travesty that must be reversed. Closed-circuit TV played in court showed Mufasa attack Mr. Youssef with a large bread knife inside the building. Okay, so maybe it wasn't a machete, but it's a large bread knife? Whatever. When armed police arrived, they saw his body slumped up against the customer door with Mufasa standing over him. Outside the shop, he admitted to police that he had killed Mr. Youssef, claiming he did it for the Lord. So this is exactly the kind of bullshit perversion of spirituality that happens when you try and explain anything of the supernatural, anything beyond the immediate here and now physical to fucking They act on their stupid impulses, they do stupid things, and then they justify it because I did it for the Lord. How can Christians cuck out for fucking niggers? Why don't they see it as a great offense, a terrible offense that niggers can't comprehend, cannot act out Christian values? They cannot embody Christian values.